traffic fatalities regarding marijuana have skyrocketed.
Google that, because that's nonsense. Just because someone gets in an accident and they're high.
See,
hold on, stop.
No, hold on a second. This is
you
because
interrupt way too much. You need to stop.
I probably wouldn't talk about the marijuana issue.
That.
I wouldn't care. Because here's the thing. I don't care about it.
One way or the other?
But my issue with it is when, and we saw this in Montreal, I talked about it when people lie about it and they're dishonest with their voting constituency.
Like how so?
Well, saying, it's medicine for A, B, C, or D. It may be medicine for A, but not for B, C, or D.
Well, what are the B, C's, and D's? What are the things that's not medicine
an example.
for?
Well, you're asking me what I wouldn't talk about, and you're asking me to defend it. My point is I don't really care about it.
But what are the B, C's, and D? Well, you said
it cures cancer.
Well, there has been shown...
It helps with cancer about as much as turmeric and ginger. Those things help with cancer.
All those anti-inflammatory things.
Yeah, I know, but it's not a prescription.
But CBD has been shown to have tremendous benefits for cancer and non-psychoactive.
Yeah, and certainly with seizures. I have zero problem with CBD being legalized. But my issue is
cannabis.
I'll have to, I feel the need to call people out in bullshit when they say, well, the reason it's not is because of big pharmaceutical companies. I go, hold on a second. There are 7 patents on chemical compounds for marijuana right now.
Right.
The people who stand to make the most out of marijuana legalization are pharmaceutical companies. That's why they make...
That's not true.
Well, it is. If you look at the biggest supplement companies, it's owned by the same pharmaceutical companies.
But you can't patent
and the
a
one
plant.
Yes, you can. They've patented seven at
you
least.
You can patent strains that are GMOs.
No. 7 active chemical compounds in pot that have been patented as drugs. They've gone through the process.
Yeah,
There's one that's really efficient.
To the point where you can't grow pot. How would you stop someone if pot's legal? If pot's legal, how would anyone? And if that's the truth, then that's a real problem.
If pot is recognized as a medicine, right? If pot is recognized, there is no one who would stand to gain more than pharmaceutical companies by providing it as medicine.
That's not necessarily true if people are allowed to grow it themselves.
Maybe it's not necessarily true. I'll give you that. But I also think it's not necessarily true that the reason people can't smoke up is because Big Pharma is sitting somewhere, Martin Shkreli going, oh, let's make pot illegal.
Well, not that
That's
guy.
my only point.
But there are absolutely people who have lobbied, as we talked about how the prison guard union has lobbied to keep marijuana illegal. There's absolutely pharmaceutical companies have done the same thing. It was revealed in the WikiLeaks memos.
See, this is where I was saying
don't interrupt me, you fuck. Where Hillary Clinton said that she's against marijuana in every sense of the word, right? You remember those WikiLeaks papers that came out?
Yeah.
Is he? He said he would leave it up to the states. Yeah. That's actually a constitutional approach.
But he wants to beef up the war on drugs.
You know why? I bet someone slipped him a pot cookie once and he looked at his hair in the mirror. And
no, he's a teetotaler. He doesn't even drink.
What the fuck?
Sold vodka, doesn't drink, Donald Trump. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ever?
No, he says he claims he's never had a drop.
Colorado topped $1 billion in legal marijuana sales in 2016.
Good.
Holla.
Yeah.
Holla at Colorado.
Yeah. But another thing that we just wrote about, and again, people get mad with the weed issue. Well, no. Traffic fatalities regarding marijuana have skyrocketed.
Google that, because that's nonsense.
No, we wrote about it
drunk driving arrests have dropped. What do you mean first of all...
No, we wrote about what the sources there, the original studies.
Just because someone gets in an accident and they're high. Hold on, stop.
No, hold on a second. This is
you interrupt way too much. You need to stop.
You talk in paragraphs.
Hold on a second. No. I don't talk in paragraphs. I make full points. If people are high a lot and the same amount of fatalities exist, but the people that get checked once they get into these accidents happen to be high, it does not necessarily mean that marijuana caused those fatalities. It could be that you have an increased incidence of people doing marijuana and altercations that could not have been avoided.
It could be.
It could be.
But the statistical change is measurable.
Well, what is it?
From pre and
You're
post.
talking about in Colorado.
In states where it's been decriminalized or legalized.
Let's go with Colorado. Pull it up, Jamie.
Hold on a second. You just said, let me make my point. Again, my point is I don't care about it.
Yeah, you do.
No, I really don't.
You don't care about people dying? You son of a bitch.
You get so touchy about it because someone says, you know what, if people want to smoke up, fine. I just don't really buy the arguments that everyone is in some big conspiracy to try and snuff it out.
No, there are some.
And the idea that the drug war will end and the idea that it cures cancer. I just don't buy that. And people get so upset.
Well, listen,
that's my only point. That's why I wouldn't talk about it.
Studies have proven that it shrinks tumors, that it helps people with cancer. Much like turmeric, much like any things that reduce inflammation, including CBD
ginger,
oil.
tart cherry.
Right, but it's not necessarily a magic. They're all legal, and there's no issue because they're not psychoactive.
Right.
But they are beneficial. So all these things are good. Marijuana is one of the things that are good. And don't shore, man. Just like you don't shore turmeric, you don't shore ginger, you don't shore a reduced sugar diet. All those things that reduce inflammation are good for you.
I don't buy that smoking marijuana would be as beneficial as a reduced sugar diet. And my point is that people get so offended by me saying that and saying, but if you want to smoke, go ahead.
You might be correct.
Shouldn't be offensive.
But it doesn't matter because it's not a fucking contest to see what's the most beneficial. The question is it beneficial and is it damaging?
It is. It does matter. The
What's
fact
damaging?
That you said, no, let me finish my point. It does matter. You said, what would you not talk about? I said, probably pot because I don't care. Well, what do you think about it?
You definitely
I said,
care. That's
this
why
is
you're
what I
arguing
think
with me
about
it.
And your eyes light up. And all of a sudden, where ideology and worldviews
like
shouldn't be discussed.
No, you're
going to laser me like a tractor beam on the most important issue of the day that I said, I don't care.
You're the guy that thinks people should be able to do whatever. You're a free market guy,
that's
right?
what I just said.
So if you're a free market guy, why wouldn't you be in support of something, whether it's the most beneficial or equally beneficial?
Just said I am.
But you're not necessarily because you're denying.
But because now of the chemical compounds.
Hold on, fuckface. You're denying.
Watch it. Come on. It's been a good conversation.
We're friends. I'm just joking. Since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado are at near historic lows.
You haven't bringing up the source that you want to find.
Washington
Bring
Post.
up the study right there. Yeah, Washington Post. Bring up the study that we wrote. We wrote about it on our website.
Look, I don't care about your website, you fuck. Since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado
Since you called me Since you called me a fucking pussy, and you do this with the crazy lady at a comedy club,
buddy,
you think if you scream enough that it makes a point. My point is, I don't care about it.
I don't think that if we
Smoke
scream
up.
enough.
And you just said I was interrupting. You're interrupting now and screaming.
Because
I don't care about it
put
enough.
up a post and you're not
But I don't buy
ignoring it.
that it's as valuable as a low sugar diet. And the fact
doesn't have to be as
that
valuable.
You can't have a conversation about this as civilly as you did every other issue tells me that there's a problem. This is a TNT powder keg.
I can. The problem is I get very defensive when people start talking over me, and you started it first. But the reality is that a low sugar diet is fine.
Sure.
It's good too. Why is there a competition between a low sugar diet and turmeric and marijuana and CBD oil? Why? Why does it even have to be discussed?
Because one is making the claim regarding legality that it cures cancer.
Because
my
the
only
other
point is I
ones
don't
are
believe
legal.
it. No, my only point is
because the other ones are already legal. They don't have to fight for it.
Yeah, but no one's prescribing. No one's dishing out dispensaries for turmeric or ginger.
They certainly are. If you go to these local juice shops.
Anyway,
you go to these juice shops. People are promoting ginger like crazy, turmeric like crazy. Go online.
Couldn't care less people want to smoke joints.
You're an ideologue, buddy.
Really? That's an ideologue position by saying leave it to the states?
Yeah, you're locked in, man.
Really?
You're locked deep into this fucking red state thing, man.
I was raised in a socialist province of Quebec.
Your bread is buttered, buddy.
A socialist province of
Quebec. And meanwhile, you're over here in America, fucking just as much of an immigrant as some dude who sneaks over the wall Trump just built.
I was born in Detroit, so that remains to be seen. It could be annexed.